You are live.
Hello and welcome. If you are not watching this live and you're watching the replay, I'm Timothy Van Riper from ModernThirst.com, also known as the Single Barrel Snob, which is kind of fitting tonight because I'm getting into silver dollar picks, mostly all single barrels. There's a few things in here that they did that they released that weren't, but mostly everything that's here is single barrel picks from silver dollar. I'm a huge fan of silver dollar, obviously. There's like, you can see, huge fan, and just wanted to get into some tasting and give everyone a chance to hang out too. We can share some tasting notes and it's be a good time. Waiting for one other person before we get on the call here. Before we kick it off 100%. Let's see where they're at. See if they're still stopping by. I hope everyone had a great day. I hope everyone's weekend is going well. I know I had a long weekend, so I'm actually looking forward to this. I know it's only Saturday, but yeah. As we're going, I just noticed there's a couple more people joining now too. When you're not talking, if you could keep your audio muted, and then when you want to say something, just unmute it. It will actually make everything go a whole lot easier and smoother. I'll also do the same thing. I'm not saying this because I don't want you to join in or talk. I definitely want to hear anything and everything that everyone has to say. I just want the audio to go as smooth as possible. I'm going to go ahead and kick this off. I'm going to do, this is Blanton's, the number 2 pick. Last release Larry did, I actually went to silver dollar strictly to get this bottle. I am not a fan of Blanton's. If you know me, I rant and rave on occasion about how I'm not a Blanton's fan, but this barrel, I should say, really surprised me and blew my mind. So let me get into this one. I opened this yesterday afternoon, so it's just recently been opened. If you have Blanton's number 2, please feel free to pour yourself some. And if you are live in the room here and you're drinking Blanton's, I see someone pouring out and sniffing. So maybe we have other people drinking Blanton's number 2. If you poured yourself Blanton's number 2 from the silver dollar, I'd love to hear about it. Okay. Yep. Man, this nose is so creamy, so fruity.
So from the tasters, is this number 1, Eddie?
Yes, that would be number 1, Eddie. Absolutely.
All right. I know Eddie gave him for just make sure. Oh, I guess you gave him.
Yeah,
number
no,
1.
you're fine. Yeah, I'm going in that order. I'm making sure for those first 5, I'm going to stay in order, and then after that, we're going to branch out and do all the other ones. But yeah, these are all in order for you guys right now. Man. Whew. I'm gonna take another sip. That's the first whiskey I've had today.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers, y'all. Cheers.
Dude, that's amazing.
No, I'm doing a little Zoom, man. I'll catch up with you later.
So, out of y'all, you guys, is there a lot of Blanton's fans here? If you are, no judgment. It's just not my thing. But this thing's killer.
I'm a fan.
You're a fan in general?
In general, yeah. I mean, I think I got 4 on the bar here. 2 of them are.
There you go.
This is definitely different.
Right?
It's very citrusy.
It's very
in a weird
fruity.
way.
Way more fruity than I'm used to.
Yeah. I don't know if I would per se that Blanton's has a profile because it's a single barrel. But there's definitely a characteristic that sticks around a lot in Blanton's, and it's usually really spicy and really.
I was going to say you don't get the rye spice with this that you get
right.
With a lot of the other standard off the shelf stuff.
So yeah, usually really spicy, really oaky, and that doesn't really show up in this a whole lot. It's really, like I said, really creamy and really fruity up on front, and that sweetness shows up at front too, like on the palate. But yeah, this is This might be to date one of my favorite Blanton's, or one of my favorite picks in general.
I've never had a Blanton's with this much tangerine. Just it usually
I
isn't
agree.
citrus.
So much fun.
I agree with that.
Cool. I'm going to move on to another one now. All right. If I sent you a tasting kit, we're moving on to number 2. And number 2 is the Eagle Rare. This is Eagle Rare number 7. I opened this bottle probably about a month ago with Andrew Ziegler. I got a bunch of people joining right now. Admit all. There we go. My apologies. I looked away. I didn't see everyone joining. So welcome. We're on to number 2, Eagle Rare number 7. I opened this bottle with Andrew Ziegler. He's in here in the chat. If you're not talking currently, please mute your audio or mute your mic. And then when you want to say something, please unmute and feel free to talk. Just keep yourself muted when you're not talking. Get a lot of reverb. So I opened this about a month ago with Andrew. We did a Zoom call, and we ended up opening this together. Man, super rich on that nose. Wow.
So I had a buddy bring me up. We were trading. I got this from the Silver Dollar on that first release and traded him this and another one for 2 picks out of Tampa. There's a store down there called Lucan's.
Yeah, I know that place.
Okay, yeah.
They do all their picks with Tampa Bay Whiskey Society.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he brought me a Lucan's pick in trade for this and the Silver Dollar, I think number 7. And then he also brought me, there's some type of like chocolatier company down there that's related to some type of diamond company as well that does picks. I forget the name. It's like kind of like Tiffany's, but they have a different name. And
Sure,
so we traded equal 2 for 2. They were both Eagle Rare picks. And now I'm sad. You said this was Eagle Rare number 2?
Eagle Rare number 7.
7.
It's the number 2. It's the number 2 pick, but it's Eagle Rare number 7.
I might have messed up. Should have kept it. Lucan's pick is really good.
You still get to try it.
The weird part about the Lucan's pick was it had a lot of wild notes to it. Like it was all over the map.
Sure. See, that's another one I like a lot. I'm gonna say it's not super complex like the Blanton's is. I think that for being a Blanton's, that thing was super complex. But that Eagle Rare, it's got a nice bit of tannin, like mid palate. But it's just really, really easy drinker, but not super complex. It's the kind of bourbon that you really want something nice, but you don't really want to sit and break down everything that's going on. You just want to enjoy a nice bourbon, and I think that kind of fits that category. Not super complex, but good drinker nonetheless.
And that was 7?
That was Eagle Rare number 7 from the Silver Dollar. Okay, which one is next? We're gonna do. Oh my God, this Weller Foolproof pick is bananas. This is Weller Foolproof. This is number 8. This is the one that he had to twist my arm so hard. Larry talked me into this when I went to pick up that Blanton's from the last release. Literally, I walked in. I was like, I just want the Blanton's. He goes, is that really all you want? I was like, yes. And he's like, you got to try this. So I tried it. First of all, he goes, yeah, there's a lot of marshmallow. And he wasn't lying. There is a lot of marshmallow in that too. But it's so far my second favorite Weller Foolproof pick that I've had out of these when they released this line. My first favorite was the most recent one that Westport did. I think it was really well balanced. It had nice earthy notes, nice sweet notes. This is probably more, I'd say this is more along on that sweet decadent side. which is kind of what I think of when I think of a weeded bourbon anyways, is I think more, my mind kind of leans more towards, the sweet, decadent, desserty flavors.
Jesus, man, that's delicious.
Right?
I don't usually drink a whole lot of weeded bourbons, but that is fantastic.
Yeah. And it's just, I think it's just enough proof. I don't think that would be good any higher. I think it's right at a really good point.
What is it? 112, 113?
114.
Oh, okay.
And actually, no, I don't know the proof.
That was a damn good guess by me. Score.
It was pretty damn good. I'm about it.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
And you see, this is the one I picked up yesterday when I liked.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's here. I'll show you.
I got a good one. I had yet to pop that.
That's what's left of mine.
All right.
Yeah, that was the best. That's the best Wilder Full Proof I've had.
Awesome, because I got lucky and found that yesterday and picked it up.
I heard Eddie let me, goes, yeah, my buddy found one, and I was like, well, you should let your buddy know.
Yeah, I told him about it already. Fucking bullshit.
Eric and him were talking away, and I went bottle searching, and they were sitting there talking, and I found. So it was all good.
It got even worse this morning. I woke up to a Facebook message from a guy that's not even really a collector. He's a drinker, which is great, but he doesn't really collect bottles. And he found 3 bottles of a Cox's WFP pick this morning. And he had just happened to have somebody with him. So he ended up getting 2 bottles out of the 3 that they had left. And I was like, does that mean you picked up one for me? And he was like, no. And I was like, ah.
What do you know the barrel number on the Cox Full Proof?
I didn't ask. No.
Give me one moment here. I'm gonna pull up our YouTube channel too, because I don't want, if anyone's in there watching live,
Anyone hear me?
I want to be able to. Hey, was that Steven?
That's me, buddy.
Hey, dude. I'm so
Hey,
glad
bud.
you're on, man. That's my
Hey,
brother. There he is. That's my
I'm
little
enjoying
brother
your
in Southern California.
Butchertown and your Westport Makers pick. That's a
Oh,
Portsmouth.
solid, man. Right on. Okay, so I'm going on. I'm doing. We're on to the Russell's Reserve now. It's number 4. If I sent you a tasting kit. God, this thing is stupid. This got overlooked. The last 3 releases that Larry did, this thing got overlooked so many times until people started talking about it, and then it disappeared real quick. This is Warehouse F, Russell's Reserve. The thing that was kind of striking to me about this is it reminds me a little bit more of a Knob Creek pick. Because Knob Creek, you get a lot of those nut cluster notes. Sometimes it tastes like somebody threw a handful of mixed nuts right at your face. And up front, that's kind of what I get on this. Just like cashew, almond, peanut, and then a little bit of toffee, tons of barrel char and spice.
Put that one on the mixtape.
But it's as far as Russell's Reserve goes, I'd say this is way off profile from what you would typically find in a Russell's
Was that a
Reserve
Camp
pick.
Nelson F?
No,
Russell's.
it's just F, just straight up.
Okay. I only asked, the first Russells I got was a pick out of Houston, a group called Blind Pig liquor store down
Okay.
there. And they called it Mama's Cherry Pie, and it lived up to its name. I mean, it burnt your face off with the baking spice in it. Truthfully, I didn't really like it after I got through it, but I picked one up here at Kroger that was Camp Nelson F that is just an absolute fruit bomb, and it's on my list of just ones that I absolutely enjoy and that I'm kind of metering out, but that's why I was asking.
Sure.
So I messaged Eric this morning and told him we went to Evergreen yesterday before we went to Westport, and I was the only one that picked up a Kentucky Spirit turkey that they had on pick. and I had two. I usually don't pour stuff back to back. It was so good. I had one. I popped it last night and actually had two back to back, and it tastes a lot like that last sample. Very similar. So if you guys are looking for something like that you can't find it at the Pearl anymore, it's gone. Go out to Evergreen because they've got that Kentucky Spirit pick that's very close to that same profile.
I missed that one yesterday. I would have loved to got a hold of that one. I like turkey stuff.
I love turkey stuff.
All hail the turkey.
I think it's still available, but I'm not sure. They had
Silver
like
Dollar was
2.5
gone.
cases left.
If you Eddie, if you see it, pick it up and get it from pay for it. Next time we come down. Kentucky
Oh,
Spirit.
okay. Yeah. All right.
Eddie, trade him for that Weller Foolproof.
That ain't happening.
There you go.
I've already got at least one really good store pick from Kentucky Spirit. Came out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh my God. So last out of the tasting set, this is the Bottle and Bond Gold Label, 4-year-old Heaven Hill. Discontinued, I think like around 2017, I want to say. No, maybe even before that. And this is 2013. So maybe 2012, 2013, somewhere around there it was discontinued. I picked that up at the last Silver Dollar release. So I think it was around $40 or $45.
Am I supposed to
I'm
baby
good,
chug the
actually.
whole bottle on this one? Or
I mean,
what?
you could, I'm okay. Thank you, though. I'm not drinking as much as I thought I was going to. I appreciate it. You could leave it right there. Actually, that'd be super
Baby
helpful.
jugs.
I wanted to throw this one in there tonight, mainly because I've noticed recently, which don't hear me wrong, this is not a bad thing that I'm saying, but there's been a lot of new people that have kind of been joining the local groups, and if they're at the Pearl and they grab that, I'm sure they want to either know about it or talk about it. And then this is the other one. White Label was discontinued. Geez, I think almost 2 years ago now. So it was a 6-year BIB. It was only available in Kentucky, and Heaven Hill discontinued it, made it a year older, and also made it like $30 or $40 more. And then made it not available in Kentucky. So a big FU to all the people in Kentucky that have been drinking this thing for so long. But it's interesting how you can get a tad older and be completely different on the profile. Like this one's I think this one's a little more nutty, and this 4 years, man, this 4 years interesting.
I'll tell you what, that 6-year Bottle and Bond Green Label Heaven Hill is still awesome, man.
The green label's not bonded, but the green label is awesome. The green label is 90 proof.
No, the one you sent me to still have, the discontinued one.
Oh, the white label.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That is awesome. I love that, man.
The nectar.
The nectar. All right. So
Where is the nose on this, man? It's crazy. It's
right?
Delicious once you get it in your mouth, but there's
little to no
basically
nose.
put my nose in the glass. There's just nothing. It's crazy.
Which is interesting for being 100 proof, and it doesn't, just blow you out of the water. All right.
I like that. I'm glad I have a bottle of that. It's going to be a long
There
time
we go.
before I open that, though.
I think you should just open it. Like,
You guys were
open it and
talking
drink
about CNA and CNF Russell, so I pulled out my favorite.
cool, dude. Right
CNF
on.
so far. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, now I'm just kind of blow through these. If you have them, please open them too and drink them with me. This is Elijah Craig number 2. This was another one that a lot of people kind of passed on, and then me and my big mouth, I started talking about it, and I feel like other people started talking. I hate using the word bomb when you're referring to a tasting note in whiskey, just because it's kind of, I feel like everybody says that, but damn it, this is like a caramel bomb. If you're watching the recast of this and you happen to have a Silver Dollar Elijah Craig pick number 2, leave a comment there in the description and let me know if you think it's also a caramel bomb. Oh man, damn, that thing is good. I'm a huge Elijah Craig single barrel fan. I did inventory last weekend and I have almost 20. I have like one shy of Elijah Craig single barrels. I friggin' love them. Anytime I'm at a liquor store and I come across with something, they happen to have an Elijah Craig single barrel, I grab one. They're spectacular.
I still gotta send you some of the Year of the Pig Elijah Craig, bud.
Oh, cool, dude. Yeah, I'd love to try that one.
I've only had
doing-
a small batch. I've only had the small batch, but it's fucking quality.
So I agree. I think the small batch is still a quality product. If I can't get my hands, if I'm out and I can't get my hands on a single barrel, and wherever I'm at happens to have regular Elijah Craig, I'm gonna go for that. That's there we go. So this is
which
now.
one is this?
This is also an Elijah Craig. This is number 3 from Silver Dollar.
So did you already do 2?
Yeah, I just finished 2. That was the one I was saying was a caramel bomb. This one is number 3, if I remember correctly, is a 12-year. I want to say this is a 12-year 6-month. I'm gonna double check because I'm pretty sure this is a 12-year 6-month old Elijah Craig pick. Let's go check out the website. Let's see. Man, I might have them backwards because I know 2 and 3. One's a 10-year and one's a 12-year, but I might have them flopped. Let's see. Check out this menu.
That 12 got like more of a creamy vibe to it, or what?
I'll tell you in 1 second because I haven't drank. This is my 2nd bottle of this, but I haven't drank this in a few months, so I'm a little rusty on my memory on this one. Okay, where is Evan Williams? Okay, there we go. It'd be right here, Heaven Hill. Elijah Craig number 3. Okay, yeah, number 3 is 12-year 6-month. So I did have it right.
Nice. Great.
You know, usually when you start getting into these single barrels that are older in the barrel, you get a lot of like char and barrel and sometimes earthiness on the nose. And that's not really there. There's a little bit of spice and some caramel. Maybe a little bit of red fruit, but not a super big nose. Whoa, but yeah, the barrel definitely shows up on the palate, man. That's awesome. A lot of vanilla, a little bit of butterscotch, some toffee, lots of barrel notes. Not super tannic though, which is kind of surprising. Get a little bit of tannins kind of back here in the back end, but nothing overpowering, which makes sense why this barrel was picked because damn it, man, you have 12-year 6-month Elijah Craig and you don't get, a hot tannic ashy mess. That's a day in paradise right there.
Tim, did you get the Keg Liquors Lost Barrel Elijah Craig?
I did not get a hold of that one.
After this, send me a message and I'll get you a sample.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, man, it's great.
Stellar.
Yeah, it's great. Plus the label's really cool.
I have it.
Yeah, oh yeah, that had a cool story. So they forgot, the whole story was behind that was they forgot they did an Elijah Craig pick.
Oh, that's way
And
cool.
it just showed up one day. And they're like, oh, cool, the Lost Barrel. And they put a really cool sticker on it from, I think it kind of was a Lost Boys theme. Was that what it was?
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know if you can see me on your screen, but I've
That's
got
awesome.
Oh, yeah, there you go. The Lost
Labels
Barrel.
is so cool.
Yeah. Awesome, very cool. But yeah,
I tried to pick
did
another one
stuff,
up.
Legit. That's a legit
stuff
sticker.
that has a cool story.
I haven't opened mine
Where are we
yet.
going?
You got any notes on that, Eddie?
Who got one? Who was it? Who got one?
Jim,
Oh, okay. Actually, let me pull mine out a little bit. See.
Jumping right into the Heaven Hill 6-year white label, BIB. I threw this in there because because Larry did have it on his menu. I know some people grabbed them. I know there's some people that had been looking for these, and they were stoked that he had them on his menu this last release. So I decided to throw it in there. I really like it. It was, I don't know if it was a daily, but it was definitely something I kept on my bar pretty regularly. And when I found out it was getting discontinued, I rushed out and grabbed a case of it. And I have 5 bottles left out of that case.
My mom always used to make bourbon slush out of, and then when she found out it was getting discontinued, she was kind of panicking. She's like, I don't know what I'm gonna make it out of.
Evan actually, Evan, what was it, like 2 years ago that you made that cinnamon whiskey?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You made cinnamon whiskey?
Yeah, where is it?
It's Fancy Fireball. I forgot what I named it. I think there's
It's called Hadouken. There it is. Here it is.
That's awesome.
Hadouken. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Hadouken. But yeah, Evan, I did a bottle share and he was telling me, I'm gonna pour a little bit of this really quick just to get a nose. I don't want to sip it because I think I'll screw up my palate, but
Was the body
it's
for
still-
that cinnamon whiskey, was that Heaven Hill you made it from?
yeah, Evan Coleman, who's somewhere in here. I saw him. There he is. He's waving. He made it, and he brought me a bottle. This was way before it was being discontinued. Oh man, it still smells fantastic after sitting all this time. What'd you use, Evan? You used honey to sweeten it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just found a YouTube recipe and I was like, yeah, I'll make this, and then everybody seemed to like it, so I made more.
You know what's really interesting now that this has been sitting is a lot of the earthy notes you get from honey come through now, and you still got some of that cinnamon spice in the background. I'm gonna have to try this after we're all done with this because I don't want to try it now and screw up my palate. But
yeah, but the recipes you can find it on. It's Cocktail Chemistry is the YouTube channel.
very cool.
But it's like real cinnamon sticks, honey, and then some red pepper flakes, and you basically like throw it all in a jar and let it sit for a day.
That's right. That was the secret weapon, was the red pepper flakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing about that.
Where are we going? What are we doing? Okay, we did. I think there's only a handful of things left here. Let's do. Coming off that 6-year, let's go into this 10-year. This is a 10-year H&H and Age. I'm in a cool little sample share group. This group got together because we were not able to hang out and do bottle shares like we normally do. So we've been doing, I guess, more or less like stop and go bottle shares. So we've been pouring samples for each other, and this was. I don't remember who got me this, but give me a shout out. Remind me who you were. Ancient Age 10-year. This was on the last release that Larry did at the Pearl. Really quick, I know I didn't say this at the beginning, but I seriously want to thank Larry and Susie and all of the staff, whether you are currently still employed or not. Thank you so much for everything that you've been doing. Through little releases like this and keeping things going. Like it's truly remarkable. Larry, Susie, you both are fantastic people. Love you so much. Thank you for still being able to let us get a little piece of what you got going on, even though we can't see it on a regular basis.
Bourbon joy.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if anyone got some of this. I'm actually kind of bummed out I didn't get a bottle of this. Man,
Is it gone? Is the Ancient Age 10 gone?
Oh yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
Oh, I thought I saw it on the list. I was hoping I could jump in there after it was all said and done and grab one still.
So get this really interesting note. I don't think I've ever gotten this on a bourbon before. So I get this musty, like, earthiness on the front. But then I don't know how else to describe it except pixie stick. It's like that. It smells like a fucking pixie stick. And then in the very, very back, there's like strawberry note, but like more specifically dehydrated strawberries. Man,
Interesting.
that is. That is awesome.
Those are interesting notes to be getting.
Hey man,
I'll
I just
tell
call
you-
them how they come. I just call them how they come.
I'm not saying anything about it. I just
Oh.
never thought of pixie sticks when I've
Neither have
smelled
I. That's why I
them.
said. That's why I said it's gonna be weird. But man, I'm
Yeah.
getting pixie sticks on the nose.
It's
So
like
on the
just a
palate,
straight, sweet, simple sugar kind of deal.
exactly. Yeah, just. Man, I haven't had too many bourbons that kind of remind me of a childhood thing, but damn it, it just happened. The palate, you definitely get some earthiness too. Some of that strawberry note comes through as well. Not super sweet, which is kind of surprising. I gotta look this up. I feel like H&H at Age is 90 proof.
Speaking of childhood things that you get on a nose, we had a Hudson Baby bourbon that smelled like Play-Doh,
Oh no way!
Wow.
That's
which was
wild.
not good.
Damn, that's crazy.
The smell wasn't good, or the bourbon wasn't good.
Yes.
I remember there was one store in town, I think it was Prospect Party Center, was trying to clear out an entire shopping cart full of baby bourbon for like 80% off, and it sat there for like 3 weeks because nobody even wanted it at 8% off.
Yeah, ancient age 10-year is 90 proof. Cool. Man,
I got a Tim. I'm not trying to correct you, but I got the bottle here, and mine says 43% 86.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
I just Google searched it, and the stuff that I saw said 90 proof. I could be wrong.
I have a hang on one second.
Oh, you know what? Holy crap. Okay, so that was 10 star. So 10
Yeah.
star was 90 proof, and 10-year was 86 proof. How
I
bizarre.
believe that I have is a 2013 1 liter 86 proof.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the 10-year is 86 proof, and the 10 star is 90 proof. How weird.
Yeah, my laser code is B13 first 3.
Okay.
Yeah, this is tasty stuff, man.
So once again, whoever that came from originally, thank you for the sample. You fucking rock. That stuff is delicious.
Hey Tim, I'll tell you what, dude.
What's
As far
up,
as
dude?
Childhood memories, dude. You know this Mackenzie I always talk about, the single barrel.
Yeah.
If this doesn't taste like Ovaltine, I don't know what does. It is. It's beyond. I've never had anything taste quite like this. It's
So
not
can
Heaven
you
Hill
can you
juice
do
either.
can you do me a solid? Can you tell me and everybody else about that? Because I'm actually not super familiar with that bourbon.
Yeah,
I don't
so
see it out here a whole lot. Hold on, it's a single barrel, correct?
Yeah, yep, single barrel.
Cool. So tell us about that. That's kind of new to me. I'm
So
not
it's a
super...
barrel. It's a barrel pick from a town here, Palomar. Like 30 minutes. A little liquor shop that's incredible. It's
Is that
distilled in-
Palomar, California?
Yeah, Palomar Market is who did the barrel pick.
So Southern California.
Yeah, Southern California.
Cool.
Sorry, I forget everybody is.
Nope, you're fine.
Single barrel. It's a 5.5 year, 112 proof. It's by Finger Lakes Distilling, and it's not Heaven Hill juice. A lot of people actually think it is. It's distilled and bottled and barreled by the same place. And it's very, very, very unique. It's got a palate I haven't seen. It's so different. It's really, really, really good. So.
And what's it called?
Mackenzie. And this is the one that, as far as I know, this is the one that's a little harder to find. It's the black label. There's like ones you see usually like 4-year range, but it's kind of harder to find. At least I've seen the 5.5 year. But it's great. It's 70, 20, 10. As far as the mash bill goes, it's fantastic, man. It's absolutely killer. If anyone wants a sample, I'd love to send you guys some.
That's fucking rad. Right on, dude. I'm actually going to get into something that's a little controversial now. Shout out, first of all, to Jeff Frederick. Thank you. You fucking rock. I posted yesterday, the day before, what the lineup was going to be, what we're going to be tasting through. And Jeff sent me a message. He said, "Hey, I noticed you didn't have any EHT or EH Taylor. Wow, EH Taylor single barrel. Larry Rice did a single barrel release of this. It's not a single barrel. Taylor isn't normally my thing, so it wasn't really something I was going after. But to be able to try
let's be
it,
clear though, for everybody involved, that it was actually Susanna from Buffalo Trace that picked that barrel, not Larry or Susie.
no, yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying like it was released through Silver Dollar, and
No,
the
I just
reason
want everybody to know that because everybody knows Larry and Susie's picks are bomb as hell.
I
And then you bring
actually
another palate involved, and it kind of mixes it all up.
agreed. I actually appreciate you bringing that up because I feel like Larry and Susie kind of have like a when they pick a barrel, it's usually off profile. I've noticed, so they have kind of like an off profile thing that they go for. So the reason it's controversial is because a lot of people were buying these just to flip. You know what? If that's your thing, cool, do it. I like to drink my whiskey. So it's kind of controversial because a lot of them didn't get opened. A lot of them just got sent away. So once again, thanks, Jeff, for hooking me up with a sample of this. I'm going to drink a little bit and see what's going on. Hopefully, if you got one and you're watching this, you're going to take the plunge and open it and drink it with me too. Or maybe you're watching the rewatch and I have sparked a note for you to maybe I'll like fabricate my tasting notes and you'll be like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. I should open it. Nah,
Not much of a nose on it to me, Tim. I don't know what you're getting, but
I you know what?
Nose, man.
I agree. There's not. If I remember correctly, I feel like Larry said this was a 9.5 year. Age-wise, yeah, it's
tough to get anything.
It smells like bourbon.
Yeah, you're right.
That's such a weird thing to say straight up. It's like, yeah, it smells like, you know what? No, it smells like bourbon. Man. Whew. Yeah, it's not a bad nose. Like, it's pleasant to smell. It smells, here's what it smells like. Here's the exact thing. So I'd say in the last year, the scent bourbon has been tried to be replicated, whether it be in like candle or body wash or shampoo or air freshener. They've tried to replicate the scent bourbon, and it always smells way off. Like it never smells like bourbon. This smells like a perfumist nailed the scent of what bourbon smells like. Right here. That's the best way I know how to describe it. Because nothing really stands out on the nose. Like there's like they're there, but nothing like shoots out at you like, oh, that's vanilla, oh, that's toffee, that's barrel. Like it's just it smells like bourbon.
Hey, just so you know, back to H&H, I pulled mine out. Mine's 90 proof.
So you have the 10 star.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the one that's 90.
To jump back into a question that I heard earlier that I was meaning to jump back into, I
go for it. What's up?
I poured a little bit of that Elijah Craig Lost Barrel from Keg, and somebody was asking about tasting notes. Before I forget it, because I'm still drinking new stuff. So on the nose, it's kind of odd because it's got a must to it. It kind of reminds me of grapefruit. It's a little sour sweet on the nose, and then on the back end, it's so smooth and vanilla-y that you wouldn't know. I can't. Let me see the age on it.
That's an interesting profile. Crazy.
It's a really weird pick. Let me see if they put the age on this one. Rickhouse CC, floor 3. They did not put the age on this bottle, but yeah, it's really weird. Especially on the nose.
Elijah Craig single barrels age or range from 8 year to I've seen him as old as 14 years. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah. Okay.
So somewhere in that 8 to 14 year range.
Thanks for that, Eddie.
No problem, man. If you haven't opened
it,
if you haven't opened it yet, man,
you know
you're gonna be very pleasantly surprised when you do. It's
I
amazing.
haven't, but I've got 7 Elijah Craig single barrels in line right now that are all open except for that one. So I just kind of sip off of whichever one I feel like at any given point.
Yeah. I guess there's no reason not to save it because whenever you do open it, you're gonna enjoy it.
Well, I just opened the Pearl 2 and 3 today, or Silver Dollar 2 and 3 today, and I agree on 2 because I missed that. I ran upstairs for a second. that thing is a caramel bomb, and wow, is it amazing.
Yeah. Oh wow. So I poured a little bit of this Taylor into my hands, trying to get a little more out of it, just from doing a little rub. And I
That
will
was a
say,
$40 rub, Tim.
hey man, got to drink it some way, right? Like I said, this is a controversial pick, so.
But
I'm sure
at the end of it, it'd be good to know what your stance is on the E.H. Taylor line in general, because it is a controversial lineup, to be honest.
I will say, I had cured oak probably about 6 months back, and that thing blew my mind. I was super impressed with that. That was actually one of the few that I liked. Overall, I haven't had an expression from that line that really like blew my mind or wowed me, and that one was definitely one of the ones where I was like, holy crap, I want to drink more of this.
In general, it's a decent bourbon. It just doesn't knock your socks off in any way, shape, or form.
But that cured oak definitely knocked my socks off. I was like, I need $1,200 so I can go buy a bottle of this.
I agree with you. If anybody's ever had Blade and Bow 22 but hasn't had the cured oak, and if you like the Blade and Bow 22, they're almost the exact same profile.
That's good because one of them's half price.
Well,
So,
yeah.
Here's
For
what
now,
I'm gonna pour a little bit of this into a glass and let it sit, because the longer that this sat, now that I've been kind of sitting here and talking and sipping on this, a lot of vanilla, a lot of caramel came out, and a little bit on the back end, a little bit of tannin. This might just need to sit a little bit. Let's do a little drop of water in here too and let it sit and see what happens, because I feel like that might do something too. So I'm gonna set that aside. I'm gonna move through the rest of what I got going here, because it's gonna get super complex now. So these are kind of the things that I think get overlooked on a regular basis. Got a plantation Trinidad rum, 22-year-old. And if I remember correctly, this thing has 3 different barrel finishes on it. This thing is stupid good. I opened this last night. This was kind of like my good night pour last night. This
Hey, Tim,
is.
Can I jump in for like a half second?
Please go for it. Absolutely.
Because I got to bounce, go eat some dinner, but I appreciated you pulling this together. I appreciate everybody being here and sharing thoughts and sharing drinks and everything. This was Knob Creek number 3 from Silver Dollar. Picked it up in this release. Just cracked it last night. Incredible. It's deep. It's complex. It's new. It's old. It's just awesome. And at 120, you don't even know it.
Those are the ones that I call dangerously delicious, because you're drinking 120 proof bourbon, and it is it doesn't feel like it. Those ones are dangerously good.
No, and they killed it with that pick. Susie was the one who rang me out. She said they picked it 3 years ago. I have no idea how it's lasted this long, because just awesome.
Because it's not 14 years old.
Right? and you can't flip it for twice what you paid for it. Anyway.
Looks like
thank you,
Evan.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate all you guys and gals.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Night, man.
Night.
Okay, so my bottle smudged, and I'm having a hard time figuring out what the second but so it's a 3 barrel finish. So it's 15.5 year in a bourbon cask, 6 year in something else. I can't read it. My bottle's smudged. So if you picked up this and you happen to have a bottle, let me know what it is. And then finally, mutation. It was 4 month in a peated whiskey cask. I got into this. I think I'm going to save this last, because that thing is.
What is that?
That thing is. That's the plantation single barrel. It's a 1997 Trinidad single barrel rum, 3 cask finish that is from El Camino was picked
I think
for El
I think the
Camino.
second cask is Carousel. I don't have one of those, but I know somebody
Okay.
that bought one at the last pickup, and I think the second cask was a Carousel cask.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go through these brandies really quick, and then we'll finish off with that rum. So I have two brandies. Larry hooked me up with one of these too, so appreciate that once again, Larry. Thank you so much. These are both Phoenix barrels. So Phoenix barrels that have an extra char. They finish in an extra char barrel. One of these is 8 year, 3 month, and then the other one is 6 year. So a little extra age when it comes to brandy. Here, let me check really quick. I have it here somewhere in my notes. But yeah, brandy. These brandies get overlooked quite often. I will say that when everything 100% opens back up, one of the places that I actually want to go back and visit is Copper and Kings. They have one of the most unique experiences as far as, kind of off the beaten path as far as distillery tour goes, because it's brandy and we're in bourbon country. But Copper and Kings is doing so many awesome, unique things with fruit and brandies and finishes and collaborations. Westport did a collaboration with them about 3 years ago, where they did a brandy finished in a Plump Jack wine cask. If you don't know Plump Jack, I actually learned about this recently. Plump Jack is essentially the Pappy Van Winkle of wine. It is super allocated, super hard to come by. People who are winos is it's one of the wines that they chase the most, specifically the Cabernet Sauvignon. So Westport split a barrel with Plump Jack Wine and Spirits, which is actually in Northern California. And they finished it in one of those casks, and that thing was stupid good. It was like 126 proof, tons and tons of flavors going on. Really bummed I don't have that anymore. Okay, so this is the 21C split that Silver Dollar and 21C went in together with. It's 123 proof. I think that's what it was. 126 proof. This is also a Phoenix barrel. It was finished in a Sierra Nevada chocolate cherry stout barrel. And this one is the 8 year, 3 month. No, this one is the 6 year, which is kind of surprising. Because holding them up to the light, the younger one has a little more depth of color, which what I was kind of leaning towards. It was probably the older one. But it's not. Wow, I just botched
Hey, do you
that
know?
one.
Are these gone? Do you know if these are gone?
They are not.
They're not gone.
They are not gone. So I will tell you this:
Not even
whenever the next release is, I can almost guarantee you, unless people are catching wind and Larry wants to hold on to them, it will be on the next release.
Well, my girlfriend is just a huge beer freak, and when you said Sierra Nevada, we got to go there to both locations.
Awesome.
We got to go to the one in Virginia or North
Sure.
Carolina. I can't remember which one, and then the original. And she'll flip over that for sure.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
One's in Asheville, I think.
yeah, that's
Yes.
right. Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. That's right. I used to be a beer freak, and then I kind of got more into spirits.
But this is another one of those things that got overlooked because we are in bourbon country, and people kind of I don't know if they're scared or maybe it's not their thing. I just want to drink really good stuff, and if it's got tons of flavor and tons of depth and tons of character, I'm gonna drink it. Every brandy that I've had so far from Copper and Kings that was either finished in a Phoenix barrel or had some other kind of barrel finish and then a Phoenix barrel has all been just incredible. Super depth, tons of fruit notes, tons of barrel notes, tons of other characteristics from whatever it's picking up of what barrel it was finished in. The nose is hot, I will say that. It's really fruity. It's also got a lot of ethanol in the nose. Big, huge nose, which is kind of, what I would expect from something that's, 126 proof. The fact that it's 100, I will say too, the fact that it's 126 proof and it's still 8 years old is kind of impressive.
All I remember I had that actually at 21C. I remember you taste every bit of that 126, but
Absolutely.
yeah, if you get past that, you do get a lot of that cherry chocolate stout. And I went and I put a little bit of water in there, and even with just a little bit of water, you get straight to brandy. The finish just disappears completely. You just get.
So
all
I will
brandy,
say,
wine,
being, you could call it being at proof. You know, we've been drinking through some stuff. A lot more flavors coming through, but it's still hot. You know, 126 proof, but it has this awesome finish on the back end. It leans more towards the left side of my palate. Lots of red fruit. Kind of reminded me of whatever the red flavor is of Fruit by the Foot. And then lots of leather, which is kind of surprising to get a leather, like an earthy note from a brandy, because usually brandies are just sweet and hot up front, and that's kind of it. But the fact that this has some earthy notes too is really, really impressive. With a little bit of water.
The red flavor of Fruit by the Foot is sugar.
But I mean, which, you know, also makes sense too, because, you know, brandy is normally just candy sweet. So whew. Man, that's awesome. That's man, I really want to sit and sip that more, but I really want to get through the rest of this, because I'm trying to keep this as short as it can be. Where are we at right now? Where are we getting to? Let me check how long in we are.
I'm supposed to start a fire out back, so I'm gonna jump off before it gets dark.
All right, yeah, no worries, bud.
I just want to say I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I'm so glad you all could stop by and hang out, man. It's so great.
Shoot me a message when you're done, and we can get that Elijah Craig set aside for you.
Yeah, sounds great. Appreciate that so much.
All
Yeah,
right,
sounds
man.
great, Eddie. Appreciate it.
Hey,
man.
Eddie, before
Yeah.
you drop off, Eddie, thanks for connecting us with this. This is awesome. This has been a great tasting.
No problem, man.
Hell yeah,
I take
man,
I
absolutely.
take payments in bottles of Weller Foolproof.
You're gonna be waiting a while. Yeah, we're gonna get ready to head off too. Thanks a lot. And I am not Jenny. I am Steve. If you want to know.
Right on. Thanks so much for stopping by, man. That was fantastic. Super nice to meet you.
If we get back around, we'll try to do this again. That was good.
Please, I would love to.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.
See you guys.
See it.
So we're jumping into this last one, and then we're gonna get into the rum,
Eddie.
and
Thank
then
you.
if you want to stay and hang out, we could talk and bullshit some more. So this was split with a bourbon group out of Houston, I believe. Yes, Houston Bourbon. It's 123 proof, also a Phoenix barrel. This was finished in an Oloroso sherry cask. Once again,
Was it
Phoenix
Houston
barrel.
Whiskey Society?
Yes. No, this is the Houston Bourbon. What does that say? Constorium.
Okay.
I haven't heard of them.
Me either.
This was.
What bourbon
This
is
was. Yeah. Once again, a split barrel, silver dollar. This
it?
is.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know when this was from. The one.
Brandy, right?
Yeah, this is the second Copper and Kings brandy release that they did.
Okay, gotcha.
Damn it, I don't know anything else about it, but let's get this little mini Glencairn here.
It is a mini Glencairn. Jeez.
Oh wow. Damn, that's 123 proof. Damn. It's so weird to have that high proof and not have a wine and still get kind of a wine characteristic. Man, that's interesting. I've been drinking whiskey a while. Like in a while, I mean like years. And sometimes I'll be honest, it gets boring. You kind of get into this like repetitive phase. I mean, you just get the same thing over and over again. And it's really refreshing to me to get into something else that's tons of flavor, but not bourbon. And I think that's kind of why I gravitate to these weird things, you know, the brandy, rum, Armagnac, whatever it might be. You're still kind of in that, barrel aged spirit, but it's not bourbon. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna jump in really quick and do this one really fast. This is the tequila, the Reposado tequila. It's a 9-month-old. I had a buddy pick this up for me. Thank you, Eric. You are a fucking sweetheart. He even brought it to my doorstep. He was awesome. It's a 9-month Reposado. I had this. Oh my god. I actually haven't had this neat yet. I was drinking it in margaritas on Cinco de Mayo.
Some of the best tequilas are so fucking smooth, and I mean, I didn't realize that until a couple years ago or whatever. But I mean,
so I agree with you 100%. I'm actually coming off of like a 3-week tequila kick. I've been just drinking tequila like crazy. Lots of Reposados, a good amount of Anejos. Not a huge fan of silver or blanco tequilas. It's just not my thing. I still like getting that barrel characteristic. Those the vanilla and spice that you get unaged. Oh my god, this thing is killer.
yeah, like I brought this Clase Azul back from. I mean, I got it in fucking Mexico and brought it back and probably waited like 2 years to even open it. And had my first taste of it. I was like, what the fuck tequila have I been drinking all these years?
Man, this thing's great. This thing, I think, is probably one of the best bargains that Silver Dollar had in the last release. I think this thing was like 30 or 40 bucks. It was 30 bucks. This bottle was 30 bucks. $30 tequila. A $30 Reposado tequila. Man, lots of pepper notes. But it's like this minty peppery note, a little bit of vanilla, man, a little tiny bit of leather, like kind of back here in the background. Man, it's just a killer tequila. No wonder it made such a damn good margarita, because it's a damn good tequila. All right, we'll finish this off.
I wouldn't even use good tequilas with margaritas.
You do or you don't?
I wouldn't.
Oh my god, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. It's not
I mean, I love margaritas, but I wouldn't use a top tequila with it.
I think better spirit makes a better cocktail, so I'm all about it. No judgment if you don't want to do it, but I am 100% for it. Okay, I'm gonna get into this last one here. This is that Trinidad 22-year-old rum. This is the one I was sipping on last night, and it just threw me through a loop. It was like drinking, if you could throw bourbon, scotch, and rum all into one bottle, sip on it, and then as you were sipping on it, the characteristics from each one of those spirits popped out all at the same time and didn't kind of like mute each other, which is kind of a common thing when you do a multiple cask finish. One kind of tends to mute the other. And this thing is, every flavor shines through so much. You get that, I kind of like to describe it as like a burnt tire. You get that burnt tire earthiness from, that you kind of get in Jamaican rum, which is one of the biggest things that I think people get turned off from Jamaican rum, because it just tastes like this weird earthy plastic smell. The more I drink, the more of these funky rums that I drink, the more I kind of like enjoy that. And there's a little tiny bit of smoke and peat. Oh man, and then tons and tons of like sugarcane and molasses, and oh man. This thing is stupid good. Like I think that was actually Larry's note on the menu. It's like, this thing is stupid good. It really is. Yeah. Damn. What did you say? Yeah. This is stupid good. Also, I will tell you this too. This really, honestly, this is like a $350 bottle of rum. But because we're in bourbon country, you can't really, add this person really quick. There we go. Because we're in bourbon country, you can't really charge that amount of money for a rum, because people just won't buy it. Unless the rum people, which I don't know if I consider myself a rum person, but I definitely enjoy rum. hopefully the next releases will still show up and I can get another bottle. And maybe some people who didn't get it could try it too. Damn. The palate, you get mid palate, you get a little bit of peat and smoke, which is nice. It's not overwhelming. Oh man. Sweet. You got the nice sweet funky rum, vanilla. Damn, this thing is stupid good. I really wish this wasn't a $200 bottle of rum because I would drink the shit through this right now.
And that's funky with an I, not a Y.
Correct. Oh man.
It ain't funky stank, it's funky town.
Sure. I'm about it. I get on board with that.
I was blessed enough last night, Timothy, to open that bottle with our buddy Wesley. And
Did he get one?
He did.
Oh,
and I was pleasantly surprised.
Smart man.
That basically a harmony of the three spirits that you said that's absolutely spot on from what I got.
Right. Yeah. Bourbon, rum, scotch.
And there's peaty notes that you've kind of turned me on to recognizing that just here recently, just from the tastings that we've done together. And that is very, very present in there, but subtle unless you're looking for it, I think.
It's surprising to me that it picked up that much of the smoke and the peat for only being laid down in it for 4 months. That's a surprising thing. Because most Scotch casks, I would say like 98 or 99% of Scotch casks are used barrels anyway. So, by the time rum's going into it, it's probably on its third, maybe even fourth turn. And still to be able to pull out that many characteristics that are just, earthy and smoky and peaty is really, really interesting. Hello, buddy Daniel. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Man, I'm gonna sit here and so out of who's left, I think there's about 6 people in here. Out of who's left, no, there's actually a few more. Few people are muted. If you don't want to talk, that's totally fine. I just kind of want to kick up a conversation a little bit. Out of the stuff that you got from Silver Dollar, or maybe you didn't get out of Silver Dollar, whatever. Was there anything that stood out to you guys that you really enjoyed, or you were excited to open and talk about it with somebody else? Because there's some stuff that I didn't pick up this last time. I missed out on the Kentucky Spirit. I really wanted to grab that one, and it sold out right before I got there. But is there anything that you were, really stoked to get and try and taste, or something that you're just like, my God, this is the best thing I've drank ever?
That Blanton's is, I've never tasted a Blanton's close. That's crazy.
I agree.
I didn't go make it to Silver Dollar, unfortunately. I've bought too much from Westport Whiskey, frankly.
I appreciate it.
I need to cut back.
But I'm
Greg,
one that calls
Greg,
it
there's worse
bland.
problems to have than that.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying, I mean, I haven't made it over to Silver Dollar, and there's my reason.
There you go.
Tim, the Hunters Bar OWA was pretty surprising to me, and I'm not a person that has a whole lot of OWA picks, but
okay.
Just
was that
not
Hunters?
Really big on notes, but just bold nose, bold palate, nice, finish that's doesn't kick you in the pants, and it was the Hunters Bar. I think it was number 3. Somebody
okay. I thought there was 1 and 2, but I mean there was probably
it may be Hunters Bar 2 was Weller Foolproof. I'm talking OWA.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, whatever the 1 liter OWA, maybe somebody has it, but I'm not in front of my bar right now to grab that. But that was kind of similar uniqueness to the Wine Rack OWA.
Sure.
I think it wasn't this time. I think it might have been 1 or 2 releases ago. The Silver Dollar number 2 Eagle Rare. I've had this.
I will give you
a long time.
Let's pull this up really quick.
But anytime
Eagle
I
Rare.
pour like this much, just because I want to save it for as long as possible.
I agree with you, man. It is. Okay, let's check out what the age was. I think that was an 11-year. An 11-year Eagle Rare. I will say this: once Silver Dollar opens back up, I would encourage you to go and try their Eagle Rare #1. It is the very first Eagle Rare pick that they ever did for Silver Dollar, and for whatever reason, they're still sitting on bottles of it. I think a pour is like 14 or 15 bucks, might even be 16 bucks. Well worth it. Probably one of the most unique and interesting Eagle Rare picks I've ever had. And the fact that he is still sitting on it there is just mind-blowing to me. So yeah, Eagle Rare pick #1 at Silver Dollar. All right, let's see. You said that was #2?
Yeah.
Okay, #2 is
And Tim, the OWA that I was referring to is the Hunter's Bar Weller 107 #1.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I finally went over there and looked at it.
Eagle Rare #2 is a 10-year, 3-month-old Eagle Rare. Very cool.
I'll tell you what, Tim, another to kind of tie two things together.
Yeah, go for it.
Plump Jack, the most recent Plump Jack Eagle Rare is worth trying also.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm not a big tasting notes guy, but I think it's actually age stated and it's 10-year, 4-month. But just it's a unique Eagle Rare pick. It tastes nothing like a Shelfer, and I can't really relate it to any other Eagle Rare pick that I've had. So if you have a chance to try that, or if you want a sample, we can probably work that out too.
I'm sure we can probably work that out. I think
lucky enough to win one. I don't know if I got here.
I think I'm going to see you tomorrow at some point too, so I think that's totally fine.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm going to go back and revisit this this Colonel Taylor single barrel pick. I let it sit. It's been sitting for probably about 10, 15 minutes now. I put a couple drops of water in it. It definitely opened up. Lots of vanilla. Man, lots of butterscotch.
Gary,
it's crazy what
this guy's just descriptions are amazing. Like, I wish I had like 1/10 of his palate.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, when I get on a Zoom with Tim, that's why I deny having any tasting notability, because I don't want to step up to that plate.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know I thought I was muted, but yeah, you know your stuff.
Well, I appreciate the shout out, man. It means a lot to me, man. So I will say, this sat a little bit and got a little bit of water. It opened up, and it's more on. I will say this is more on the sweet, decadent, desserty side. Damn, I should have got a bottle of this. I'll tell you, I was not a fan of this right out of the bottle, poured into my glass, but I'm definitely a fan after it sat and had a little bit of water in it, because it just, holy cow.
Now
Is that the one that you were just talking about smelling just purely like bourbon?
Yeah, it's way more vanilla. It's more damn it. I don't know if you've ever smelled. I think there's 3 different types of vanilla, and one of my favorites is Madagascar vanilla. Madagascar vanilla is really sweet and earthy, and that's the kind of note that I get on this is Madagascar vanilla. It's so fucking nice. I want to live in it.
A lot of the E.H. Taylor single barrels I get have a lot of, you'll get some anise in it too. Do you get any of that?
Not so much. It maybe a tad of baking spice, and if I sit here and smell it a little more, I could probably pull out exactly which one it is. But the fact that the amount of vanilla that I'm getting on it is just, like I said, I just want to live in it.
I didn't know they did E.H. Taylor store picks.
So it was something that they kind of offered to their high roller clients like once in a blue moon. And then it's a new thing that they started opening up recently. I don't know. I'd say there's probably like a handful of them. I'd say like maybe half a dozen so far. I think you'll start seeing more of these pop up as time goes on.
Wow.
I think it's more for the fact of it, like it's not something you normally see, so that's why people gravitated so much. Man, like I said, this on the nose alone, I want to live inside it. It's oh, look at that. Evan just sent me a let me see here. House barrels 4, 5, 6.
That's
Dude,
from,
thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's when
What's that for?
Hunter's Bar #1 OWA got released when Modern Life and
Very cool.
all that stuff got canceled.
Cool. I'm gonna send this over to Andrew as well. That's really awesome. Thank you so much for that, dude. That's awesome. So I'll tell you this. I wasn't. Ooh, there's a little bit of lemon in there too. That's interesting. Like lemon peel. Like not. God, I hate to. God, when I do this, sometimes I get irritated with myself because I feel like I sound like a pretentious asshole. But I'm just telling you what I'm smelling. And it's like lemon oil. When I lived in Northern California, I lived there for almost 2 years.
I think I can speak for everybody on here. If you sounded like a pretentious asshole, we wouldn't be on here.
Accurate.
That's fine, but I'm just speaking from the heart here. There was this air freshener that I had. I'm an ex-smoker, and in my early 20s, I smoked in my house when I lived in Northern California. But I also lived right around the corner from my family, my aunt and my uncle to be specifically, and they would regularly check in on me. And if my house smelled like cigarettes, my ass was in trouble. And so I found this air freshener that was actually made with lemon oil, and it covered up everything. My house always smelled like citrus, and that's why I'm saying I'm pulling out this like lemon oil or lemon peel, because you squeeze a lemon peel, you get the oils out of it too. I really like this a lot. I know I made a joke earlier that I was going to fabricate my notes, but it's kind of just for for the show and being funny. But this really is. I really would encourage you to open your bottle, let it pour a little bit, let it sit, add a couple of drops, and then sip on it, because it's damn.
Tim, did you notice before you let it sit there and you put the water in it, did you notice on the finish kind of like the kick in the pants or the Kentucky hug? Like I just had a lot of heat on the back end, and I have not let it sit for because I opened it and I wanted to try it, but I have not let it sit for longer than 5 minutes, and I haven't put water in it. Does that kind of take the edge off of the finish? Did you get kind of what I'm talking about? Or
Absolutely. I will say it's still there. It's just they turn the volume down a little bit, so you
I'm definitely
still get that.
Or then,
but it's not overpowering. The water, the couple of drops really help the background hang out a little bit more, and a lot more of those notes shine through. And yeah, I mean that's something there. All right, I am going to I'm going to end this. We're a little over an hour, yeah. About an hour and 15. Trying to keep these under an hour, but we went on a ramble. I'd like to thank everybody that stopped by tonight. Thank you so much. You were what made this fun, to be honest. Because if I was just here staring at a screen, yelling out tasting notes, I probably just look like a crazy person because I'm talking to myself. So yeah, you guys stopping by made it way more enjoyable. Once again, huge thank you to Larry, Susie, and the whole team from Silver Dollar and the Pearl. These releases are spectacular. You have outstanding barrel picks, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all of you soon. Yeah, once again, Timothy from Modern Thirst, and thanks everybody for stopping by. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.
thanks, Tim.